Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakahakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to the H.I.M and H.I.M. That's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach, who's coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this article is in Better America. It says the math is brutal. 2/3 of Americans now forcing themselves into isolation as cost of living crisis, deadlocks, social lives. Yeah, people not really going out and about like that no more because really the Lord is snatching his mirth out of this place. All that happy, joy shit, that's just a done deal, man. You know? Okay, but it says Washington, D.C., a surging cost of living crisis is forcing a majority of Americans to abandon major social milestones, depending on deepening national loneliness epidemic, as citizens increasingly choose isolation over insolvency. Yeah, they've been talking about that too, especially around COVID-19, where they was, people was kind of, that was kind of somewhat the start of it, but it was already like that in a sense. But when the COVID-19, it really kind of gave a push of people just being lonely as hell, especially the elderly. Nobody gives a shit about the elderly people no more. Now they got what you call welfare checks. You know what I'm saying? Got to break in the damn back door or something like that to see if a relative's still alive because you ain't seen them in so damn long. Anyway, it says new data from the CFP board reveals that 2/3 of U.S. adults have declined social invitations, including weddings, holiday gatherings, and birthday dinners over the past 24 months solely due to financial constraints. The trend highlights a growing financial FOMO that is severing social ties across the country. Okay, so it says the data suggests the economic burden is compounded by social stigma. According to the report, which surveyed over 1,100 Americans, 56% of those who declined invitations never disclosed that money is the primary driver. This lack of transparency is leaving millions of Americans feeling out of sync with their peers' perceived spending habits. Yeah, man, because, everything, it really shouldn't cost anything to have some damn fun, in a sense, not the kind of prices that comes with America. You can go out just for a night, man, and just want to have a drink or two or whatever, you know what I'm saying? By the time you get 2 drinks, dinner, you trying to do a move, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You going to a sports game, you going to the movies, you going to anywhere, you know what I'm saying? You could easily be out a damn paycheck, man. Shit, people are already living paycheck to paycheck. People don't have, you going to the bar, and when you can get the same shit at the liquor store, you got to do that same. Motherfuckers want $20, $25 for a drink. For one drink, you can go to the liquor store and get you all the shit that they gonna put in that drink. You can do all that shit for 4 or 5 people right at your house. Instead of you go out, you and 4 friends go out. Each one of y'all buy 1 drink a piece. You out damn near $100. You might as well go ahead and put that money together. You can get some burgers. You can get some damn hot dogs or whatever the fuck you want to throw on a grill, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can get, some salmon. It's a number of things you can get for that amount of money, and do it right at your house. But see, people, this American way, it has destroyed the people's mind of having fun. People don't know how to have no damn. And then when they go to these places, they sitting there on their fucking phone. They're sitting on the phone, bro. I'll be in the gym and I'll be looking like, I can see you got your phone. You setting up your music. You got your music that you're going to play. I know I watch videos, you know what I'm saying? I'll be watching the elders with somebody, you know what I'm saying, while the video, I'm watching videos while I'm working out. But I'll see a person, man, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to get to this machine. This motherfucker is sitting there on this fucking machine playing games. On his fucking phone, like, nigga, you here to work out. Anyway, let's go ahead with this. Salaki, because I do want to get into the scripts. But matter of fact, let's just jump straight into it. Let's get the scripts right here. I want to get Baruch 4. And let me start at, let's just get to the point. Verse 31. It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. And you Edomites, you are the main culprit. You so-called white people, you're the ones that rejoice in our fall the most. All you nations have rejoiced in our fall, but not like how you Edomites have. You so-called white people. Now all of a sudden your kids shooting up schools, they all on drugs. They don't have nothing to live for. Motherfuckers is committing that ooh-I. You know? They run off into a damn school. They can't just take themselves out. They got to take out everybody else with them. You know? All on dope. Just trying to get away from the so-called white man's way of living. Just his whole setup is death. Anyway, but they're miserable, man, and we're happy about it because we've been saying, hey, continue on praying for the downfall of Esau, Edom's kingdom. This is one thing that you shouldn't get up not one day. It shouldn't be, you should be throwing up prayers. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, please destroy this man. Let him fall into the trap which he has set for us. Like this shit that's going on with Israel, going on with America. Trump giving Iran 48 hours to open up the strait over there. He's gonna destroy a facility. You know, just a bunch of stupid shit. You got your TSA people are not being paid. Now you're talking about sending ICE in there to check out people in the fucking airports. People stuck in the airports. Here you go. You got you 5-6 hours. You used to see. That's how you know this place is doomed too. Because you used to be able to go into that airport, walk on through there. You know, be there an hour earlier. You know what I'm saying? Because of the crowds. You know, you able to go through there, man. Check your bags, do all this shit. You on your plane. You flying off. Now, over the past couple of years, it's just been chaotic. Motherfucking planes is crashing, helicopters crashing, even Air Force jets are crashing. So the safety is through. You know, it's just, it's done, man. That mirth is done. You got to wait in the fucking airport line for 6 hours. Then you might not even get a flight. Here you go. You might be caught up in a city for 2-3 days, sleeping on the airport floor, man. Crazy. Anyway, verse 31 again, Baruch 4:31 in the Apocrypha 16:11 King James Bible. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Yeah, miserable, bitches. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And it's mainly talking about America, but it's all these countries, all these European countries, so to speak. These Edomites, because that's who they are. They're biblically Edomites. They come from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Esau's name was changed to Edom. Or, you know, not changed, but that's a secondary name for him. That word Edom goes into red, because they're not actually white people. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color. And they're the main enemy of the Lord, according to Psalms 83. I was going into that yesterday at camp. And all these nations, they're all miserable. They're all being overworked. They're overstressed. By the time they get that check that they, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is fucking got credit card debt. They living off credit. Because a lot of these people that go to these events, if they do make it to an event, they going into debt to do it. Bet. So verse 32 again. Baruch 4:32. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. See that? And her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come up upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. So, hey, you know, verse 34 again, it says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude. Yeah, all that rejoicing. You still got some, you know, it's still some things going on. But things are only going to get worse as the days go on. Because that shit Trump and them doing is stupid as hell. Israel done got fucking hit in one of their major cities. Now they finally showing somewhat of some footage, you know, and it's mainly because when they show you some, if Israel's showing you some footage of some fucked up shit, it's basically so they can try and get the sympathy of the people. And they're not getting the sympathy of the people. Because the people all throughout the world, they're looking at you as the problem. You are the number one source of everything that's keeping these people from partying. You're the source of that. Now extra $200 a month got to go towards their gas tanks to get back and forth. You know, and that's just right now. If that fucking oil hit $200 a barrel or so, you're gonna be easily paying $12-15 a gallon for a fucking gallon of gas, man. And what do you think that's gonna do? Now Trump, he's basically taking sanctions off of Iran, off Iranian oil. Which here you go, they bombing the shit out of your shit, but yet you helping them out buying their oil. That's how stupid these people are. Anyway, let me go back into some of the article. I don't want to keep it long, but you can see, hey, people not doing well, man. You know, you see people stressed. I seen a damn. What if they had some shit where motherfuckers need? It says people need at least 4 hugs a day. Said hugs are therapeutic. I guess they are. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, generally, you know, we would be a lovely people, you know what I'm saying, to each other, you know, as far as us Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're very, or at least we was, you know what I'm saying, a very loving people towards affection towards our people. You know, matter of fact, that's in Deuteronomy chapter 28, one of the curses, you know, that I will be evil towards our brethren, you know, so to speak. You know, all the hugs and kisses, you know, it's generally not genuine. You know, it's like it's gone. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is gone, man. Okay, but it says the silence is telling. The report notes indicating that financial conversations remain one of the last great taboos of American social life. Over 80% of Americans intentionally avoid discussing money with those closest to them, even as 79% report that financial worries have worsened their relationships. Yeah. Got people spending money and motherfuckers going and putting it, you know, going to the casino, gambling money that they don't have, not telling the spouse finding out that, you know what I'm saying. I know a Jake, and his grandparents should, you know, they had a nice big ass house doing what, but once his grandfather died, man, that man was in all kinds of debt. He had to spend all the money on lottery. Left his woman with nothing. You know, his woman had to move in, with the in-laws, you know. But that's that, no talks amongst the, motherfuckers just doing shit, you know. Anyway, federal health officials have long warned of loneliness epidemic in the United States, but current economic conditions are acting as a catalyst. A May 2025 study from the University of Southern California confirms that perceived financial instability is a direct driver of heightened anxiety and chronic loneliness. Because this strain is based on how people perceive their financial stability, it may better reflect the lived reality of daily stress. Yeah, man, people stressed out, man. I'm telling you, man, hey, look, that fucking gas, that's gonna really drag some more, and because your food, everything is gonna go up from this. But just the gas in itself, I'm just talking about the gas in general. Normally you can fill up, you know what I'm saying? Depends on what size your car is, you know. Matter of fact, I think what was it, maybe about 2 years or so ago, I was able to fill up for like 35. 40, I'm stretching it. I can, I can, how the thing be clicking. You trying to click it and get it all, so I'm looking at between 35 and 38, to fill up, the ride that I had at the time. Well, no, I still got that ride, but now, shit, it's like fucking 50 or so, $60 damn near to fill up my truck. So that right there in itself, and that's, doing the traveling that I'm doing, I don't do a whole bunch like that. And then that gas is not what it used to be. That gas don't stretch and go as long as it used to. That gas is not the same gas, man. They thinning that gas, man. They watering that gas down. But you figuring if you got to put an extra 20 just to fill your shit up, and you doing that once a week, that's $80 a month. That shit, it may not seem like a lot to some people, but that's if you on a budget, that shit can kick your ass. Here you go, you spending an extra $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. You see? So some got to be cut back on. And then, people got all kinds of bills, man. It's everything is a goddamn bill. And then that's not to mention, okay, so now you spending that amount and just putting it in your tank to get back and forth to work. If food is being moved in trucks that take gas, then guess what? Your food is going to go up. So now you at the supermarket, you spending an extra, whatever for the same things that you would normally get. So Esau done fucked everything up, bro. And it's beautiful. We're not complaining about it because this is what we pray for, man. Pray for this place to fall. Okay? But it says the math is particularly brutal for younger demographics. 42% of Americans under age 30 report they are barely getting by. Man, a lot of these motherfuckers ain't even trying. 1 in 3 people currently going into debt just to attend friends' weddings or bachelorette parties. I don't get that. You ain't got it. You just ain't got it. Fuck it. In response, a growing movement of personal finance experts is urging radical transparency. Influencers are coaching Gen Z and millennials to set firm boundaries, suggesting that being honest about budget constraints is the only way to preserve both their credit scores and their mental health. Well, you got some people that's in the comment boards. They talking about, well, I be going play. I be seeing people out and about. Yeah, people because they stupid. A lot of these people are going into debt when you see them out at a restaurant, or you see them out at a ballpark, or just trying to just keep up with the regular old American shit. But a lot of people done backed off. A lot of people, this 2/3, I believe it's probably more than that. People not going out and going places like how they used to, man. Where the fuck you think somebody is about? No, people, they like, nah, you already heard about complaints of people barely can't fucking put food in the house. So now that the gas is more expensive, what do you think these people are doing? They're maxing out the credit cards. They shifting the credit cards. Making a minimum payment on this one this week. Making a minimum payment on that one next week. You using a damn credit card, man, to live. That's crazy work. And I can remember being younger, you know what I'm saying? Having some credit card debt, paid it off, but I was like, shit, fuck that. I'm never getting one of them bitches again, You know what I'm saying? Because that interest started to hit your ass over the head, motherfucker hitting you over the head for 30% interest. Then you got these predatory payday loan spots and shit like that, where they'll pay you your check basically at a percentage that you're never gonna pay back. It's like you just caught in a whirlwind. Anyway, well, let me get this one last script. We pray for the downfall of Esau's kingdom. Yeah, let this shit keep on popping, bro. Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. It's because you got wicked ass people ruling. People that have far more than enough, man, can just continually. They have far more than, that's what that scripture talks about, man. Let me get that in Psalms. Matter of fact, let me jump back here real quick. Proverbs 28:15, it says, as a roaring lion and a raging bear, so is a wicked ruler over the poor people. This man don't care about you eating. This man don't care about you getting back and forth to work. This man asking for $200 billion more to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, they spending all that money on that shit. You spending like $1 billion a day, but your people are struggling. That's doofy, man. Scriptures talks about how, trying to think how it's worded. Well, basically, a king with no servants, or a king with no subjects, pretty much through. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Why would you want your citizens to not be fit? Why would you not want your citizens to be healthy, to keep your kingdom going? Doofy, man. What's that? What I was gonna get this one. Oh, they had more than heart could wish. And they telling you about how, it's worth it that they're doing what they're doing with this Israel shit, with this Iran shit. As an American, you just take it on the chin. These people stupid as hell, bro. People don't give a fuck about that. And then you had 80% of the Americans like, no, we don't want that war. You've been at war 250 years straight. Motherfuckers is like, hey, hold on. Just chill, man. Put some of that money into us. Where's the money towards peace? You $1 trillion a year in war shit. Anyway. Psalm 73:3. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. You got everything, but it's not enough. You penny pinching and just want. And now this man, he wants to put a computer chip in your ass because it's just not enough for him to have your ass enslaved like how he got you now. Shit. So, man, yeah, we getting there, man. We almost there. Again, continue on praying for the downfall of Esau, Edom's kingdom, because this is not our kingdom. This is not our rest. This is not our rest. Any of you, and you got these doofy ass jakes, out here stuck in these fucking airports and stuck in these places, been trying to go somewhere for some damn spring break. The Lord is about to cut all into all that shit, man. You coming up fucking missing. You coming up, your motherfuckers and snatched your ass up. All this goddamn trafficking going on, and you hoes is going to states that you don't even know nothing about. Going to party in places you have no idea about. Anyway, let the Lord deal with them. So with that, Kwame Allah and a Baba Ball.